Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Level English, your daily dose of English immersion. And today we're going to hear about Mark Zuckerberg, how a curious boy and a clever idea turned a college project into Facebook. Then get comfortable, listen close, and let's start our story. Chapter 1, The Computer Whiz Kid. In a place called White Plains, New York, a special boy was born. His name was Mark Zuckerberg. The date was May 14, 1984. Mark grew up in a nice house in Dobbs Ferry. He lived with his dad, his mom, and his 3 sisters. Mark had curly brown hair and bright blue eyes. He was a curious boy who loved to learn. It's interesting that Mark grew up with sisters. Maybe this helped him understand different perspectives. Chapter 2, Mark's first computer. When Mark was very young, his dad bought a computer. It was an Atari 800. Mark loved it. He would sit for hours and play simple games. Mark asked his dad, "How does the computer work?" His dad didn't know. So Mark decided to learn by himself. Imagine little Mark, eyes wide, looking at his first computer. Who knew this moment would change the world? Chapter 3, Learning to Code. Mark's parents saw how much he loved computers. They hired a teacher to help Mark learn more. The teacher's name was David Newman. David taught Mark how to code. Coding is like giving instructions to a computer. Mark learned very fast. Soon Mark could make his own simple programs. He was only 10 years old. Mark made fun things like a computer version of a board game Risk, a program that let his dad's office computers talk to each other. Most kids play video games, but Mark was making them. That's pretty amazing for a 10-year-old. Chapter 4, Mark goes to school. Mark went to Ardsley High School. He was very good at many subjects. Math, he loved numbers. Science, he was curious about how things worked. Literature, he enjoyed reading. Classic languages, he learned Latin. But Mark's favorite thing was still computers. He spent a lot of time in the school computer lab. It's funny to think that while other kids were hanging out at the mall, Mark was probably working on his computer lab. Chapter 5, A New School and New Ideas. After 2 years, Mark moved to a new school. It was called Phillips Exeter Academy. This school was very special and hard to get into. At Exeter, Mark kept learning and creating. He made more computer programs, a music player that learned what music you like, a computer version of the game Monopoly. Mark also loved to read and write. He was the captain of the fencing team, too. Mark was good at so many things. It's a reminder that being well-rounded can help you in unexpected ways. Chapter 6, The Synapse Project. In his last year of high school, Mark made something really cool. It was a program called Synapse. Synapse could learn what music you like, suggest new songs you might enjoy. Big companies like Microsoft and AOL wanted to buy Synapse. They offered Mark a lot of money, but Mark said no. He wanted to go to college and learn more. Now, imagine you saying no to big companies like that. Mark must have had big dreams for his future. Chapter 7, Mark goes to Harvard. In 2002, Mark went to Harvard University. Harvard is one of the best schools in the world. At Harvard, Mark studied computer science, of course, psychology, learning about how people think. Mark made many friends at Harvard. Some of them would later help him with Facebook. Eduardo Saverin, Dustin Moskovitz, and Chris Hughes. It's amazing how the people you meet in college can change your life. These friends would become part of something huge. Chapter 8, Fun Projects at Harvard. At Harvard, Mark kept making cool computer programs. Course Match helped students choose classes based on what their friends were taking. Face Match, a website where students could vote on which of two student photos they thought looked better. Face Match got Mark in trouble. The school didn't like it and told him to shut it down. But this gave Mark a big idea. He thought, what if I make a website where students can connect with each other? Sometimes getting in trouble can lead to great ideas. Mark's mistake with Face Mash led to something much bigger. It's amazing to see how Mark's love for computers as a little boy led him to Harvard and set the stage for creating Facebook. His story shows that following your passion can lead to incredible things. Chapter 9, The Big Idea. It was 2004. Mark was in his dorm room at Harvard. He had a big idea. Mark thought, what if I make a website where students can connect? He talked to his friends, Eduardo, who's good with money, Dustin, who's good at coding, and Chris, who's good at writing. They all said, great idea, Mark. It's amazing how a simple idea in a college dorm room can change the world. Chapter 10, Building Facebook. Mark worked day and night on his new website. He called it the Facebook. What Mark did, wrote lots of code, designed how the site would look, thought about what people would want to do on the site. Eduardo helped too. He gave $1,000 to start. He helped with business ideas. Imagine Mark typing away on his computer, not knowing he was creating something that would connect billions of people. Chapter 11, Facebook Goes Live. On February 4th, 2004, Mark clicked a button. The Facebook was live. At first, only Harvard students could join. They loved it. Students could make profiles about themselves, add friends, and share messages. In just 24 hours, 1,200 Harvard students joined. From 0 to 1,200 users in one day. That's a great start for any new website. Chapter 12, Growing Beyond Harvard. Mark and his friends saw how popular the Facebook was. They thought, let's add more schools. So they added Stanford University, Columbia University, and Yale University. Now, more and more students joined. Everyone wanted to be on the Facebook. It's like the Facebook was a cool club that everyone wanted to join. Chapter 13, Summer in Palo Alto. In the summer of 2004, Mark and his friends went to Palo Alto, California. Why Palo Alto? It's where many tech companies are. They could focus on growing the Facebook. They rented a small house and worked all summer. Mark met important people. Peter Thiel helped give them $500,000 to grow the company. Sean Parker helped with business ideas. Imagine a bunch of college kids working on a website that would soon be worth billions. Chapter 14, Big Changes. The website was growing fast. Mark had to make big decisions. He left Harvard to work on Facebook full-time. He changed the name from The Facebook to just Facebook. He moved the company to California permanently. Some friends stayed, some left. Dustin stayed and kept working on Facebook. Eduardo had problems with Mark and left the company. Sometimes following your dreams means making hard choices and even losing friends. Chapter 15, Facebook for Everyone. In 2006, Mark made a big decision. He opened Facebook to everyone, not just students. Now, anyone 13 or older could join Facebook. People all over the world started joining. Teenagers, parents, and grandparents, people from different countries. Facebook grew very, very fast, from a college website to a global network. Facebook was changing how people connect. Chapter 16, New Features, New Users. Mark and his team kept adding new things to Facebook. In 2006, he added the news feed, which shows updates from friends. He added Facebook chat in 2008, which is a way to chat with friends instantly. And in 2009, he added the like button, which is an easy way to show you enjoy something. More and more people joined. 2007, 50 million users. 2008, 100 million users. 2009, 350 million users. It's amazing how fast Facebook grew. In just a few years, millions of people were using it every day. Chapter 17, Mark becomes famous. As Facebook grew, Mark became very famous. Magazines wrote stories about him. He met important people like presidents. Movies were made about Facebook's story. In 2010, Time magazine named Mark Person of the Year. But Mark stayed focused on making Facebook better. Even with all the fame, Mark kept working hard on his big idea. Chapter 18, Facebook goes public. In 2012, Facebook became a public company. This means anyone could buy a part of Facebook. On the first day, Facebook was worth $104 billion. Mark became one of the richest people in the world. But Mark said, money is not the most important thing. Connecting people is. From a dorm room idea to a billion-dollar company, from a young boy who loved computers to the creator of the world's largest social network, Mark's story shows that with a good idea, hard work, and a bit of luck, you can change the world. Now it's your turn. Do you understand the story? Can you tell me 3 things about the video? Was the story too long? Was it too short? What we can make better? Your opinion is important to us. And remember, learn a new language is like a game. Every story helps you play better. Repeat this video again, and again. Practice makes perfect. Until now, you are doing great.